Can't wait to actually dive into what's been coming up over the last couple of days around this collective consciousness that's rising at a rapid speed. And I hope that as I go through some of the topics and the themes, that you'll be able to really deepen into to trusting that this is your gig, and it's up to you to actually choose to commit to doing the work and to just trust that you are the only one that has the power of choice. So, September energies. It's been very interesting listening to what other people have been putting out there and sharing in the big World Wide Web around many of the themes. And I found it quite ironic that even though I've been talking about these for many, many years, as with all things, it takes time for that momentum to build and for people to actually be able to hear what is being offered up. So if this isn't the first time that you're hearing it, just know that you are part of those first wavers that have really contributed your energy as a moral obligation to raise consciousness up so that we can actually unhook from the spiritual warfare that we're finding ourselves very deeply entrenched into at the moment. So, one of the things that I've been speaking a lot of to my private clients, and what's been coming up a lot with the animals in my work on trauma, is this collective grief that we are grieving for on so many different levels right now. And this is a shock and trauma system when our nervous systems become overwhelmed with too much information or just too much. It sometimes feels like we can't breathe. So a lot of pressure on your chest. If you've been feeling a lot of gut disturbances, just know that your body's doing a really good job trying to integrate and make sense of everything that has been coming at it for the last couple of months. And that your kidneys and your adrenals may be feeling really taxed right now. So lower back pain is very common. A lot of adrenal fatigue has been coming up. Everyone's just feeling really, really exhausted. So be gentle with your body, because the body has to catch up with the mind. And what if it didn't need to be any longer or stronger than necessary? When we talk about unnecessary suffering, this is really where we need to really raise our vibrational frequencies, to raise our ability to trust that our body knows, in that innate divine intelligence of all things and oneness and consciousness, that your body knows what to do with this, and all you have to do is support it. And that comes into being with the meaning making as well, that we're literally spelling into being the things that we don't want, right? The negativity bias is running very, very strong right now, along with all those fear programs. So support your body. Ask your body what it needs right now, and that might be just more hydration. It might just be more rest and regeneration, or more movement, or grounding yourself with the earth. So do whatever your body is asking by following that natural impulse, and try not to should yourself or make yourself wrong for it. You may want to look at taking supplements like ashwagandha, or doing a liver detox, or anything to just help your body to do these cellular upgrades, which are happening at a very quick speed. So don't be surprised if you find yourself feeling like you don't know where time is going, because those old constructs of time are really collapsing right now. The other thing that has been coming up a lot is this theme that I've been speaking to for a while, and that is to allow yourself, right, to really give yourself permission to die before you die, to name what is. And I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but we all know that from the moment that we come into this world, we are dying, that other things are dying in order for us to have life, and that we need to really look at not letting ourselves die by letting go of the stories that are killing us. The death body is the one thing, but I'm talking about the dying before dying as to let go of the illusions, right? All the faulty belief systems, um, everything that's holding you back from actually living fully engaged in each present moment as if it was the only one that you have. So this is the death of the old story. And just because you're going to let the old stories die, your nervous system is going to feel like you are really going through the throes of death. So remind your nervous system that you are not dying, that you are just allowing the old to fall away, to shed the old skins. And this is very much that rising up out of the ashes energy, the phoenix rising, that we need to let ourselves be consumed by the fire in order for us to make space and room and also give fertilizer to the seeds that we're planting right now. And September is very much that energy of death and renewal. We're moving into a new cycle, a new season. Autumn is coming in the northern hemisphere, and nature knows how to let go, how to surrender, and not letting go in a way that feels inauthentic to you, but to really look at how we can embrace what's happening to us in this moment, um, which is love, right? It's the salt body of the little salt doll that looks at the ocean and asks the ocean what it is, and it says, come, join me in the water." And as she's dissolving, she suddenly realizes and understands that this is who she is, right? That there is no separation between ourselves and the collective, which is why I love the word citizenship so much. So, giving yourself time to grieve, right? The loss and the illusions of what are no longer a part of your reality. Um, to look at the dying of the ego, the identification, so that you can move into individuation in a way that it is no longer in resistance to your true self, to make that a priority so that your truth can shine through and take you there, rather than um, being in a space of being so open to life that you see the spiritual in every ordinary moment. And I think this really is what we're being called to, is to let go of that low vibration of judgment, any of the low vibrational resonances that are sort of pulling you down, is to look at this as an opportunity or a solution to your heartbrokenness, which really calls us to not to feel less because it's painful or it's uncomfortable, or to have less heart or less brokenness, but to rather see heartbrokenness and the grieving process as your ally in life, right? This is the way that we get to taste for what real joy is, and we can start to appreciate what sorrow asks of us in those moments, in our collective grief and in our individual grief, to really let let grief find a way to carry you forward, and ask yourself, what fills you with wonder? It's not in the peak experiences. It's not about being achieving this peak state of flow and grace and hope. We don't need hope in these times. And I think the other thing that's coming through is to stop looking at codependency as a wrongness. I know in a lot of trauma work and in a lot of the buzzwords that are going around right now, that codependency is a dirty word when it actually isn't. If you think about how our interconnectedness in our contribution to living and dying gives life to others, other life forms, that we are so codependent on nature. We're codependent on the plants and the trees to clean our air, and the clean water and the algae and the microorganisms that are living in the water and dying, and regenerating so that other things live, are part of our dependency. We can't create in a vacuum. And we're being really called back to engage in that beautiful, wondrous place of what it means to be citizens, right? To be global citizens calls on us to have an obligation and a commitment to do what is being asked of us right now. And that is the place that we need to be going, is to stop looking for comfort, as if that is the way forward, or the place where you're going to get relief, when really what we're being called into in the coming months is to stop looking for that as a place of almost spiritually bypassing your grief, or making you intolerant to look at what is available in this moment for you. I think we really need to get to be the faithful witnesses, of each other, right? To hold each other and to carry ourselves in witnessing where other people are, not to try and give comfort where comfort isn't being asked for. It almost feels like a disservice to try and comfort somebody when what they're looking for is for you to just hold them in their grief, and allowing them to carry that however they need to, and to make the choices that they need to make without the us interfering because we're uncomfortable with their grief. So just remember that we probably don't need grief. We don't need comfort as much as we think we need it. And that brings me into another theme that has sort of been coming up, and that is to really be very aware of what we are spelling into being. I created a free series a while ago that I will post in the link below, or you can reach out and DM me if you'd like to listen to it. And that are just 5 very short, very small, powerful little words that will help you to get back into this alignment, back into this place of um, being able to do what is being asked of us at this time. And the power and the potency of words as a vibrational frequency, it is a sound that we put out into the world, just as the birds are singing outside the window right now. And the same frequency sound is used to break down kidney and bladder crystals. So the power of sound is huge, and we're being asked to really be very aware of what we are spelling into being, right? What we are bringing out of the non-physical into the physical world as a low vibrational frequency or a high vibrational frequency through the words that we speak. Because that is the one thing that we can intentionally co-create with, is through our languaging. And it is our alchemy to either put into the world high vibrational frequency through our words, through love. And this is the work of Emoto Masaru that he did with water, impregnated or charged with high vibrational frequency words or low vibrational frequency words, and how much that causes dis-ease, not only in our body, but in the collective morphic field of humanity and of collective consciousness, of our unified field of oneness with all things. So if there's one thing that you can change, it's what you're speaking into the world as far as the sound vibration. And this is how we get to participate, right? Not steal each other's sorrow, in trying to put comfort where comfort is not being asked for. This is how we get to change from being in a state of powerlessness into claiming our sovereign power, our sovereign state of being. So be very aware of what you're spelling into being in your words. And if you find yourself going into a sort of downward spiral in that negativity bias, ask yourself what's right about you that you're not getting. Ask yourself, what can you do? And make those small, powerful little holy shifts in correcting, right? In correcting what you are putting out into the field so that other people can get a hold of that and transmute their low vibrational frequencies into a higher form of being um, in a healing state, right? Getting out of those low shock and trauma systems and into a high vibrational healing state as if it is already done. So every time you find yourself saying, yes, but, or I am still, look at, where are you in a holding pattern? Where are you going back and repeating the same thing over and over again by the words that you are speaking that are actually changing the vibrational frequency on a cellular level, and remembering that water carries memory and that we are 80% water. So looking at purifying, cleansing your vibrational body to a higher energetic state through the sound of the words that you're speaking, either internally or externally, can change and shift you into a very high state of healing very, very fast. So that really is the key themes for the month of September, and of course going forward. Remember, we're going to be in this high Chiron wounded healer energy until the end of December, and that we're really being called on a deeper level to look at ourselves as our own medicine and how we become uh, the example for others to claim their sovereign state and to be their own medicine. So look at where you have perhaps been trying to comfort yourself or others, where you are actually in disservice. Look at where you perhaps are bypassing grief instead of leaning into it, and looking at grief as a way to use heartbrokenness in a good way, to love more and to put that healing state of love and gratitude and um, beneficence out into the world, and to stop resisting the parts of you by not telling the old stories, letting the old stories die, knowing that you are not dying, that you are the storyteller, you are the author of your life, and you get to really be dreaming awake, right? The lucid dreaming of, you're no longer watching life happen to you, but that you are the creator of your stories, and going through that as this incredible director that gets to shift and change the old states and ways of being that are outdated into new high frequency vibrational energy codes. Um, a lot of the old modalities are not working anymore because you are not the person that those modalities were created for 10, 20, 30 years ago. We're really being called in to co-create new ways of being and new ways of using our energy systems in a way um, which in requires new systems and structures of self-healing to happen. And as I said, sound is the most beautiful way that we can start to call this into being, through our words, through our songs, through our soul prayers. um, so go there and let me know um, how you're finding the energies, how you're going to tread gently on your body, to listen to your body's natural impulse to rest, to co-create, to put your sound out into the world, including grief that needs to be spoken to, that needs to be sounded out in our animal bodies. And as always, I send you much love. I honor you. I see you, and I wish you well on your journey. Take care. Bye.